Welcome back to another edition of Quinte Connection. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, this has been a great way to discover new organizations and non-for-profits, but also many across the larger Bay of Quinte region that we might not have heard from before, especially here in Belleville. So kicking off the show is Carol Gibson. She is the Administrator and Property Manager with the Ontario East Triangle Court Retirement Residence, which is located in Frankford and a non-for-profit organization. So Carol, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you taking the time today.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
So for folks out there who might not be familiar, why is Ontario East Triangle Court in the area, and who does it serve?
Well, the reason that we have Ontario East in this area is because of the local lodge members had a concept in the early 70s to erect an apartment building so seniors with low incomes would be able to afford to have a beautiful, comfortable home to live in. And as one of our tenants had expressed to us, that Ontario East Triangle Court is second to none. And that's a wonderful comment to hear. It really makes us feel that we're doing the job we should be doing.
Absolutely, yeah. So recently, though, you've been celebrating the generous support you've received across the Quinte region. So how has it been going with the pandemic, but also funding-wise? How's everybody doing?
Well, Ontario East is going to recognize all of the Orange Order lodges whom donated so very generously to Ontario East Triangle Court by having a recognition day here to express our gratitude for making it possible to install a new roof, extend the parking lot for more visitors, and in bad times of power outages, to have a much needed Kohler generator. And with the COVID-19 pandemic, the generator gives the tenants peace of mind for the time of power outages. They will not have to stress being disrupted and moved out of their homes in times of an emergency.
Absolutely, and with everything happening right now, so when is the generator going to be installed?
We should have it completely done by the middle of July.
Good to hear. And you mentioned the parking lot as well, Carol. Is that an ongoing thing, or why the parking lot situation?
Well, we've already extended to the west side of the building, which had moved some of the tenants to that side, leaving the whole row coming into the main door for visitors. And we also installed a handicap parking for people who have trouble. We also installed in this building an elevator so that people that would like to move into this building don't have to worry about doing stairs. So it makes it very nice. And with the roof, we, like they say, you fix it before it's broke, because we didn't want to have high cost for damage. So we were able to get the roof on too, which was wonderful.
Absolutely. So Carol, I'm really interested to learn more about how the retirement residence is supported by the Orange Lodge and what the Orange Lodge is, because this is a new term and group for me to learn as well.
The Orange Lodge is a fraternal Orange Order that was founded September the 21st, 1795 in Long Hall, County Armagh, in the United Kingdom, and it was named after King William of Orange. In 1690, William of Orange defeated King James II at a fateful battle of the Boyne. I don't know, you might have heard of the Battle of the Boyne near Dublin. And July the 12th celebrates the glorious revolution of 1688 and victory of King William of Orange over King James II. The Fraternal Orange Order, headed by the Grand Orange Lodge of Ireland, which was established in 1798, the Orange Order has existed here in Canada since 1812. And what the group of men and women do, they work very hard to, help their communities. Um, they work at raising funds. They used to have dances and suppers and everything that they could do to raise funds. And that money that they gathered went towards a special project in their community. Now, a few years ago, there was a little girl that was very ill and needed to be in Toronto and her parents to be with her. And so the Orange Order gave the donation to pay for that, for the parents to be with their daughter. And they did all kinds of different projects to help people that were lost their homes and were burnt out, and people who needed wheelchairs or crutches and those types of things. They were always there to help. And a lot of the lodge members, they would join and become a lodge in that community. So when there was a need, they reached out to all the lodges in Ontario, and that's where it all came together as a family to help everybody in these communities.
Well, thanks so much for sharing a bit of history there, especially, with the context and what we're living in now. I think it's a really good example of really truing the spirit of that we're all in together. So, Carol, for folks out there who are watching that live in the Frankford region or a little bit beyond that are interested in learning more about becoming a resident there, where should they go, and is there more information to explore?
Yes, I have a video, and it will be presented on the screen so they can see where to go. And there's a lot of information, and it shows them all the apartments and the grounds here and all the beautiful amenities around our community. Also, some of the tenants express how they feel about living here, and it would give them a real good sense of what they could have that they would call home.
Yeah, thanks, Carol, for mentioning that. We'll have a little clip as well as a part of Quinte Connection. But thank you so much for you and your team for taking the time and sharing more about the Ontario East Triangle Court retirement residence. Wishing you and the residents well over there as we continue to get through this situation together. So Carol Gibson, once again, from the Ontario East Triangle Court retirement residence, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate so much, Lindsay, what you and Anne have done for us.
Thank you.
The thing that really struck me was how tidy this place is. Everything is so clean. And the other thing that I really liked was that it's quiet. There's no noise. It was real good place to retire, really.
Actually, it was a friend of mine, Roger, and I have been friends for about 30 years. And we were living in just a regular apartment building, okay, which was not, I have a disability, so I don't like a place that is not secure, and apparently this place was. And so we came to see it, and at the time, Bill Gibson told us about a lift or an elevator being put in, which was great, because I cannot walk up the stairs, okay? And this is the reason why I wanted to come and see it. And obviously it did happen within a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And I moved in here, and it just felt like I was at home. Even though my stuff wasn't unpacked, I felt like I was at home.
I know. I I came over and met with Jack and Carol, and they impressed me. And they took me to see Harold and Mary's apartment, and it was beautifully decorated and furnished, and that impressed me. At the time, their blinds were down, so I didn't even see how beautiful it was going to be outside. But I really liked it. It's clean, it's quiet, it's safe, and I immediately decided, yes, I want to come